All right. I think we're here now. I think it's working. I'm pretty sure it's working. So, I think yeah, hey. It's actually working. What do you know? Technology actually works once in a while. What a freaking surprise. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. We had a lot of problems here, or I should say I had a lot of problems here. See, I'm still in podcast mode. I'm thinking there's more people with me here. Yeah, I tried to have a second screen with my laptop. That decided to shut down. Then when I tried to disconnect to get the laptop back running, my PC was like, okay, now we're in frozen, perpetually trying to find the laptop again. So I had to restart that. That's why the stream came down. So, tech issues are tech issues. The internet gods never work and the tech gods never work. So we are here now. I think we're actually going to be here for a considerable amount of time, unless something breaks down, God only knows at this point. So, hello everybody, how to make it askcsradical here. It's been quite a while since I've done a stream on my own. It's definitely been quite some time. I don't even remember when the last time it would have been. Um, I don't know what this is going to entail from the future. This is just I'm going to show up here and just kind of just talk about a bunch of random stories, play some Fall Guys back and forth. So there's going to be a little bit in between. I'm going to make a couple of rants here, then probably play a couple of rounds of Fall Guys, go back, do a couple more rants, and we'll keep going from there. Um, the gist of this stream is that I've been wanting to talk about a lot of stories kind of without interruption. I mean, obviously, I enjoy doing the podcast with Vish and Chris. We do that every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, for those who don't know, VCR podcast. But I find that a lot of the times when you have a dynamic, Jesus, English, this is going to be another part of me too. The dynamic of just being with three people is that it's really hard to get everything you want out in a very concise manner, in a very uninterrupted manner. So what I figured is that, okay, I've been wanting to get back into streaming. I've got some extra time again. And, you know, I figure, well, okay, well, Fall Guys is a thing now. It's the perfect game to start as a streaming game as well. So I at least can find a way to do both, right? Because there's a bunch of things I want to talk about, and there's also I just want to play games and just kind of chill. So, uh, obviously, there's nobody watching the stream at the time of this. As I'm streaming live, there are two viewers, but both of them are me because I have one on my computer and one on my TV, so I can see it in the corner of my eye that everything is still working. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to do this all over again, and hopefully it works the way that it wants to. And by wants to, I mean it will probably break. So I want to start off with a story that has really been bugging me for a considerable amount of time, and or not even a story that's bugged me for a considerable amount of time. I should say a company that has really bothered me and worried me for that matter. I want to say that I was one of the biggest Mass Effect fans throughout the trilogy. Now, I'm not the most, like, I don't spend every waking moment on Reddit, I don't read all the lore, but, like, I legitimately was so into that series and could not get enough of it and was so disappointed when Andromeda came out and just ended up being not a horrible game, but quite honestly, a pretty bad game. It was not what it should have been. It was clearly rushed out the door because, as we found out much in the future, they were way behind schedule, and EA just told them, get what you can out the door because we can't keep having it sit here. And as you guys will remember, when the last really big trailer came out for Mass Effect Andromeda, it wasn't a gameplay trailer. It wasn't even a cinematic trailer. It was like a behind the scenes thing. And that was the last big E3 trailer for that game before it came out, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure on that one. So imagine my shock when this is a thing that happened at Gamescom not too long ago. And it's about the same thing. So let's take a quick look at it. So as you can see here, so far it's just talking. For a game that we've known has been in existence and at least announced since I believe the Game Awards of 2018, I think it was. So that's another 2 years and nothing to show for it. So that's great. Now, I'm not going to watch this whole thing because I don't want to, kind of bore you with a 4-minute trailer, but he does mention that this game is in early development still, which tells me that they've done nothing. Because the game was announced 2 years ago. Ideally, that would mean that, you've probably done a little bit of the planning. Early production? Yeah, I don't know about that. But they do the same thing they did before. Concept art, talking about the game, telling you about how amazing it's going to be. And I just realized I didn't turn the desktop audio on. My bad.
Then you're saving people.
Dragon Age to me.
There, you should at least be able to hear it now.
Oops.
But yeah, a bunch of stuff where they're not telling you shit. Or they're not showing you shit. They're just showing you, like, very bare-bones concept art. And, like, very, very minimal. Like, they've basically just shown you, here's the map and here's our camera going through it. That's it.
Get an opportunity
That's it.
To see new things, new places.
That's very worrying.
And interact with people who lived.
So that's really the gist of the entire video. That's really it. That's not good at all. Man, that's very terrifying. And as a guy who has been the biggest BioWare fan for a long time, I mean, obviously not even Mass Effect, like Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire, like those are really good games. And then obviously the original couple Dragon Ages. I liked all 3 Dragon Ages. I know a lot of people really didn't enjoy the second one very much. I still enjoyed it quite a bit. Inquisition was a very surprising game for me. I ended up liking that a lot more than I thought I would. And, obviously Mass Effect Andromeda was a disaster. Just every Mass Effect fan knew that this was not even remotely close to the quality that we normally get. And I'm not even talking about like the graphics and the really horrible facial animations and shit. No, this was just a game that clearly took everything that should have been in a game like that. Because again, and I've said this on the podcast before, this was a game supposed to be about exploring a new galaxy. And I'm going to apologize in advance because I'm going to spoil a little bit about the game, about it, Mass Effect Andromeda, although I would honestly tell you don't bother playing it to begin with. This was a game meant to be, okay, we're breaking away from the normal Shepard trilogy. We're getting away from you being the war-torn hero that you've always been. Because that's another thing, too, about a lot of these games that I don't like. I want to be, I want to become the hero. I don't want to already be the hero. I don't want to be this legend. I want to become the legend. And the idea with, Andromeda was that you were going to get to become that. You were going to be the child of a tested legend. And you were going to be the one to go and colonize in this new galaxy and discover new worlds and discover new races and new elements and all these things that would have made it such a cool game. And what happens at the beginning of Mass Effect Andromeda? Well, the planet that you scouted as being the next Earth planet is already gone to shit. You go onto the planet anyway because, as we all know, the second you fly anywhere, you are always guaranteed to crash, and that's exactly what happens. You go to try to find a couple of your teammates, and you make first contact with a new race. This is supposed to be the biggest moment of a game about colonizing and exploring new worlds. First contact. So you know what happens. You see them with guns in hand, because, of course. And you are given, basically the option of, well, how do you approach them? And the first time I played the game, I was curious. I went in, didn't fire my gun. And they just fired at me. So, you didn't have a choice. You went into first contact and had the choice to either shoot first or be shot first. And it doesn't change anything in the story. It doesn't do anything. It's just a very minor piece. And from then on, I knew that this game was not going to be what I wanted. I already kind of had a feeling of it as soon as the first world was just absolutely torn to shit. But as soon as First Contact became a you have to fight, then everything was screwed up. If it was up to me, I would have had you go at least an hour without ever coming into contact with a new race. Like, you would have come into contact with maybe wildlife, but not an actual sentient race. Not like what, say, the Quarians or the Asari, none of them. It wouldn't be like that. You, like, the Ket are the first people you come into contact with in Andromeda, and I wouldn't have had you come into contact with anybody for at least an hour. Make it seem like you're onto this planet that's not colonized yet. And you slowly discover that there is a race living on this planet, but they're underdeveloped. Like, my idea would have been to have you become like the aliens coming to a planet that's like Neanderthal level people. Like, they're like at the point that we were, say, in the caveman ages. Like, we were just like drawing on the sides of rocks. Like, that was the biggest thing we were doing. I thought that'd be really cool. And then trying to choose whether to just completely enslave that world or try to protect it from outside threats and try to coexist. I thought that could have been a really interesting game, but instead, it just became another fucking Western game about shooting everything, because that's the goal. You gotta be the war hero. You gotta be able to shoot everything and kill everything. Like, it's just bang bang shooty bang bang all over again, and it didn't go very well. So there was that. And then Anthem happened, and we knew that, okay, BioWare has now made 2 colossal fuck-ups in a row. Because Anthem died a real quick death. They're still hanging, and apparently they're going to try and rebuild this thing, but I don't know about that. And I wonder if that's part of why Dragon Age 4 has taken so long to get moving. And when I see things like this, when I see trailers that show you nothing, they don't show you anything for gameplay, they don't show you anything about the game, and they call this game early development when we've known about this game for at least 2 years now, that really worries me. And that worries me because I love BioWare, still do, despite the last 2 games. I never played Anthem, but I've heard from a few people that did that it's a cool concept, but they just don't execute it very well. And it really disappoints me because I really wanted to believe in this company and believe that they were going to last. And I have a really, really bad feeling that this is it. I've heard rumors that they're looking into another Mass Effect game, maybe revitalizing it, rebooting it, whatever you may call it. I don't know about that. I really don't. I have a really pessimistic feeling with these guys in thinking that this might be the end of the road. Dragon Age 4, if it's another disaster, or even like just another meh game, like if it doesn't do the lodulation of like the mainstream media, but of fans, this might be it. This might be BioWare's destruction. I don't want that. I certainly don't want that. They're, at one point used to be my favorite company when it came to games. And that's kind of gone. I don't even know who my favorite one is, to be honest now. It might be Atlas just because of Persona. That might be literally it. But this is pretty disappointing. And I might be overreacting, but I've been burned by this exact pathway. Now, who knows? Maybe 6 months down the road, a year down the road, because who knows? Maybe this game's 3 years away from coming out. We don't know. But this is a sign that just gives me really bad flashbacks, and I don't want that to be the case, because, I want a company that I really like to actually exist and continue to exist and get back to where they used to be, because where they used to be the best. Mass Effect 2 and 3, because 1 I came into later because I didn't get an Xbox right away. I remember getting the game as early in the morning as I could for Mass Effect 2. And I think I might have started at like 9 or 10 a.m. and didn't stop playing until 2 a.m. the next day. Nonstop. Like, other than like bathroom breaks and eating, that was it. I played that game nonstop. And I've finished Mass Effect 2, I want to say, probably 4 or 5 times. all the DLC. Gone through Mass Effect 3, same deal, played the hell out of that. I know the ending is a sore spot for people, but I still think the game as a whole was really, really good. You know, other than obviously locking away a Prothean behind a DLC wall, which was, or a pre-order wall at the same time. That was really shady. But otherwise, this is a company that hasn't had a good game in quite some time, and it really worries me because I want this company to keep going and make the games that I remember used to liking. And yeah, it sucks, and I really, really hope that everything that I'm worrying about right now with Dragon Age 4 is just me worrying for nothing, and me just kind of having that pessimistic, like, negative flashback to, you know, previous situations with this specific company. We're going to do one more story now. So, speaking of, you know, games that are floundering, Marvel's Avengers, so far, is not doing very well, at least in terms of the mainstream media. Now, most of the really big mainstream sources, they have not given the reviews yet, because most of them should know better, because it's a live service game, and you can't really review the game after like a couple of days of playing it, because there was a lot of content and a lot of gameplay to go with it, including the end game. But the majority of people that have come out already and talked about it have not been very positive. And we've seen plenty of videos on YouTube. I've seen plenty of comments on Reddit. And a lot of the gist of what I'm hearing is that the game is actually pretty good and the story is pretty good, but it's really hard to enjoy that when the repetition and the over-the-top, like, clearly trying to get you to spend money on it with the battle passes for each character and all the outfits and all these things, it's just not making it an enjoyable game. So when you have things like, say, this, which is the, I believe, Virgin outfits, the Virgin Media outfits, because, you know, they're selling themselves out to basically every company out there, because everybody's got to get in on that Avengers money, because everybody knows that's the biggest property probably in media right now. It's very obvious that this game was made with that in mind as well. Now, I don't pretend to know everything that's going on, right? I don't pretend to understand every decision that's made because I'm not behind those doors. But I have a really, really keen eye for bullshit because I've played so much live service games now. And I played the beta, and I've said this before on the podcast, I did 3 missions, and that was all I could muster. It was that boring. I couldn't get into it. And not to mention, but all the gear, because, like, I'm a big Destiny guy. Destiny was my big game at the time when it comes to live service games. I've played a bit of Division and Division 2, you know, things of that nature, but Destiny was my core. I played probably in total between D1 and D2 about 3,000 hours worth. And I can tell you that everything about Avengers right now is everything bad about D1. Because there's a lot of loot that doesn't do anything. There's a lot of loot that's meaningless. The missions are very repetitive. And the amount of grinding is pretty surreal. It's pretty bad. And at least a first-person shooter, in my opinion, you can get a lot more out of in that format, because you do feel a little more sense of control, whereas a beat-em-up, you have to be in a very specific spot, you have to hit specific combos. There is a lot more freedom of movement with Destiny, because you can be at long or short range. If you're Hulk, you have one range. You have to play in a certain format. If you're Iron Man, yeah, you can fly around, although the flying is pretty bad. I really hate the flying controls for Iron Man and that. Black Widow does have a gun, but it's very limited as well. Like, everything has like a bit of a gimmick and a bit of long range, but not really as much as you'd like it to. And because of that, I really believe that this game could have been good under a different format. I think the second it became a live service game, and I know that because the second they said it was going to be a live service game, I cringed because I knew that it was going to be what it's turned out to be. Because most live service games are not there to be good games. They're there to get you to stay long enough that you spend a pretty decent sum of money on stuff. And that's the thing I'm worrying about with Outriders as well, which has also impressed me, because it looks like Destiny, but in third person. In this case, with Avengers, it clearly looks like it was a money-making machine with all the costumes, with all the various currencies that they have in this game. And that's the kind of thing that I would anticipate that a company just trying to milk their core audience is trying to do. And it's a real shame, because this game, if it had been, say, just the missions and just online co-op, like just a story, without all the levels, without all the loot, without all the costumes, because nothing that you get changes the look of your characters. The only way that it changes is you have to like finish certain pathways. You have to unlock the costume. It's not like Destiny where you can get a different headpiece, different chest piece, different gauntlets, different boots. All that stuff doesn't exist. You know, you just are stronger. When I played the beta, I couldn't believe that. I'm looking every time I get new loot. I'm thinking, okay, cool. I wonder what this looks like. And it doesn't change anything. I'm just more powerful. That kind of defeats the purpose of loot. Like even with Borderlands, it's just guns, but they're guns that you can see, and they're guns that do things differently, whether it's different elements, whether it's some have explosive shells, some, you get what I mean, right? Whereas with Avengers, like all you're doing is changing a stat number, and that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything at all. It just means that, oh, you can probably handle this thing better. That's really it. And that's not what I anticipate when I play a game that's a live service. I want to feel like I'm progressing. Progressing doesn't mean that I do slightly more damage. Progressing means that I look different. You play any MMORPG like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy XIV, you're constantly changing your look because it's better armor, because it's a better setup. Your weapons are better. You're always changing stuff until you get to like the end game where you're looking for that specific piece. But if you're making your way through the course of the game, you're getting better loot, which means you're looking differently. In this case, you're not doing that at all. So the core thing about what makes these games fun, I guess, to play as you progress, it's not there anymore. So, it just comes down to, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? And that's why I'm kind of hoping that this rating gets worse. I really do. I want it to be worse. I want this to be below 70. I really, really hope that the mainstream outlets like IGN and GameSpot don't come out with their reviews and do what they usually do, which is give it an 8 or an 8.5 or even a 9 if, they really, really want to be charitable to it. Because they get better weight on Metacritic, which would really pump up the rating. I hope that these guys give this a 7 like it actually probably is at best, and make sure that that rating stays down. Because people need to understand that just because it's got an Avengers label slapped on it doesn't mean it's amazing. I mean, we've known for the longest time. I mean, for God's sakes, how many times did movie tie-in games come out and they were always terrible? How many times? Like, every Marvel game for a long time was horrible. Hulk, Iron Man, like they were all bad. Basically good comic book games was like the Batman series, like the Rocksteady games. That was about it. We're getting a little bit better now. It was the same with like games as movies. Like you knew that they were always going to be bad. And now all of a sudden we have Detective Pikachu, Sonic the Hedgehog, and stuff like that, so we're getting better. People need to understand that this game, even though that it is, quite honestly, the framework I think is actually really good. I really do think that there's a quality game in here if they just did it differently. If they literally just did this as straight story, no loot, like maybe you just unlock like costumes as you go, they might have worked. But because of the absolute shady practices with all the currencies, with all the outfits that you have to unlock, some of the things you can buy, it's pretty obvious that this was not meant to be a game that people would enjoy. Rather, it was meant to be a game that people would spend money on. And they said that they wouldn't have you pay for DLC or stuff, and I'm sure they'll stick to that. But they're going to find every way that they possibly can to get you to spend any amount of currency on there. And that's a real damn shame, because this is a game that a lot of people had high hopes for. And it's not turning out to be that. Okay, let's take a break from talking. I feel like I need a second away from that, so why don't we boot up some Fall Guys and see how many crowns I don't win. Because, I'm so good at video games. So, let's get this going. I'm playing this on PS4, by the way, because it was free. I'm probably getting to the point that I'm going to buy it eventually for PC, but none of my friends that I have on PC haven't playing it yet, so getting it just for streaming seems kind of pointless, so I'm just playing it here. I've really been enjoying this game, and I'm really glad that it's gotten the attention that it's gotten, because it is such a great game. And it's great in bursts, too. Like, I'm probably going to play, like, maybe a few rounds of this and get back into talking, because I got What do I have here? I have about 3 more things to go through, and then we'll probably finish up with some more rounds. Still getting over a cold. It's only day 11, you know, or day 12. Might be both. Might be actually 12 now. It's freaking ridiculous. All right. Oh, I'm in the front. Okay, so at least I have a chance to avoid the clusterfuck. Nope, didn't avoid it. Act. Not falling over. It's gonna come. Yep. Don't come out. Don't come out. Don't come out. Don't come out. This is probably one of more of my favorite games right now. Doesn't demand too much, and it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Unless I fail at this a little bit, because sometimes I forget to jump. This time I didn't, thank God. That's probably about the point in the game where I feel the most dumb, when I miss that jump. Alright, what are we looking at here? Top 10? Yeah, 6 or 7, not too bad. I remember too to switch the, switch what's going on here. Switch the thing before it was. There we go. I feel bad for people on PC who don't get to see their names anymore, or see the names of people. But yeah, it seems like it's such a damn shame that it's really bad on PC with just the amount, because of course people just type different names constantly. That's a real shame, because people of course would abuse that. I hope that they get to the point that they have it so like you have to register one name to the game and that's it. That'd be really nice. Alright. Another thing that I hope for down the line is that maybe they put team games separately. I'm not nearly as opposed to it as I used to be. I still kind of hate the fact that team games are a thing, because I feel like sometimes it gets a little ridiculous that you can basically lose just because like people in there are, or people on your team just are really bad at what's going on. Why is my own team trying to knock this thing out? Get out. Get back in there. Get back in there. No! Shit. They're all focusing on that one, so let's try to see if we can get any of these out. No! Stop knocking into the corner, you dip. Come on. Alright, Oop. Nope, missed that one. Come on! Get in there. Oh, we're gonna get bullied really hard here. There we go, keep that in. Oh wow, we have almost all of them. Oh boy, we're losing a bunch of them. Try to protect these ones. I think we're okay though. Yeah, we're okay. Overtime. No! No! Okay, I think we're still fine. Yeah, we're still fine. They're trying to fight over it. No, stop overtiming it. Oh no. Stop worrying. Somebody get a ball out of that zone. I'm trying to keep mine in here. Come on. Somebody knock one out. Come on, stay out. Stay out. There we go. Jeez. That was getting ridiculous. Hell, it's really hot in here. Hope the fan doesn't come through that hard. I'm also wearing a hat and headphones indoors. That's probably not helping. Alright, what are we on now? Block party? Okay. Let's see how many times I get taught or get grabbed during this. There's always those people. Move. Yeah, there's one. Nobody going yet? No, somebody fell. Oh, this one's a little more interesting. Okay, okay, alright. Oh boy. Get up. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh no. Okay, where are we getting to the end? Okay, here it's probably coming. No, not yet? Ah, here we go. Ah, it's a jump one. Alright, let's see how this goes. Nope. Uh-oh. Okay, nope, we're still good. We're still good. Nope, we're not good. We're still good. Ugh. Oh, I got rid of a bunch of people there at the end. $12 people, so we might get a hexagon, and maybe we'll do a team game to try to separate that into 6, maybe. See what happens. Oh yeah, we're getting a 6v6 fall ball. Okay. Perpetual goalie here. So I know what I'm doing. The other thing, too, that I'm really disappointed with the PC version is, man, I feel so bad for people that play in that game, and then there's just hackers, like, just endlessly. I've seen one of the guys that I watch, I've seen stream it, and it's just a constant. Like, you can almost not avoid it. Why are you touching me? Get away from me. You're doing a real good job helping your team over there. Oh, that didn't work at all. Okay. That other one looking. Oh, that could be problems. Get off of me! Oh, let's get one of them here. Nope. Stay back. Damn. Well, at least I kept it to the side. Oh no. Come on. Oh shit. Oh shit. Damn it. Oh, apparently we got 2 while I wasn't looking. Okay. Znappa was so focused on that one. Nah, no, they'll touch that. This one I got. How did that do nothing? It's one of those things, every time I think I've kind of learned it, I don't. Oh, shit. Oh, that was a really good one. Yep. Their own guy almost knocking. Oh no, that's because I guess the skin makes it look like he's our team because it's so light. Oh no! Oh jeez! Almost no goal there. What do we got? 15 seconds almost. Uh-oh. Oh, we got one. We got one. Just keep it away. And we got it. All right. So a 6, I guess it could be... I mean, it could be a lot of things still. Could be Fall Mountain, even. Either way, final round on the first one. Not too bad a start. I feel like I've played this thing enough now that I've got a pretty good handle on it. Generally speaking, it's the team games that can kind of eliminate me. It's usually the team games that kind of knock me out. Sometimes I'll have like a really bad run on something. Okay, Fumble I've never won. I've won, I think 3 games. 2 of them have been Fall Mountain and 1 of them's been Hexagon. Actually, no, I think it might only be 1 each. I make the final round a lot, but actually winning the last one seems to be the challenge in the end. All right. So where is the actual tail? That's the... Oh, there we go. That answers that question. Damn. I figured that one out, right? Oh, you little shit. Oops. That's probably gonna get grabbed. Oh, maybe not. Nope, damn it. Oh, you sneaky bastard. Damn. This guy might be getting away with it. Oh, come on. Nope. Damn. I really struggle with that one. That's probably like any of the tail tag ones. Those are probably my worst games. Surprised. I'm trying to think. When is the actual second season supposed to actually start? Let's see here. I don't know if I see a date for it. October, okay, so we still got at least a month of this. That's actually pretty generous, because I mean, I think I don't have too much left to do. Oh no, there's still quite a bit. I mean, still like that. If I had actually played like a lot more, because I played very much a lot in the very beginning, but as soon as like other people were playing other stuff again, solo, it's not something I generally do. But I mean, that's pretty generous that like the little that I've played, I've gotten to 21, almost 22. And there's like still some like decent stuff you can get. I'd like to get to that maybe, just because it's got like the Yankee pinstripes going on. That would actually match this costume pretty well. I don't really care much for that. I mean, that'd be cool to have. don't know if that's really something I'm too keen on. Yeah, these I don't really care too much about. Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine with at least getting to the night sky, and then after that, everything else is just kind of like a cherry on top, you know? Alright, let's try another one. I'm also really glad that this game came out for free too on PlayStation, because Lord knows, like, I'm pretty paycheck to paycheck when it comes to my spending cash. So whenever anything comes for free, whether it's whatever Epic puts on, whatever Xbox Game Pass has, because Xbox Game Pass is really cheap on PC, or obviously with whatever's PS Plus. Of course, this month, what was it supposed to be? I think it's Resident. No, that's the PlayStation Plus, or that's PlayStation Now, I believe. What we got Whirligig. PS Plus games, September. Because I'm pretty sure they were both games that I own. Second Son, which I already own. Oh, no, that's not. Oh, no, it's September 2018. Jesus. Why the hell is that the first thing that I see? The September 18th thing. How the hell is that working? There we go. Street Fighter 5 and PUBG, which I don't care about. Oh. I'm getting bullied hard. I wasn't paying attention for a second there because I was reading. But yeah, like, Street Fighter's one I already got. I've seen a lot of people get so mad about the PlayStation Plus stuff, and it's like, guys, like, what do you expect? Like, they're free things. Like, you're never gonna get, like, 2 games you really want every month. I know that everybody was really pissed off about the 1 month where it was, like, fucking City Skyline and Farming Simulator. I get that. But for every one of those, you get a month like this where it's just really good. Like, this game is more than... I would happily pay a second copy on Steam. I'm just waiting for my friends to get it. That's basically what's keeping me from buying a copy. The same went for Rocket League. Like, I got Rocket League for free when that came out, and I've bought a couple of DLCs for it since because it was so worth the money. So I'm going to be top 5 again. Oh, top 3. Nice. Yeah, I've learned on Whirligig to just never go up the middle. I'd rather just go on my own on the side and just... because I'm really good at the platforming there, so... I've learned to not bother unless I'm really far ahead, and I'm like, screw it, I'll take one try at it. But generally speaking, I'm like, nah, I'm going to the side because I know I can make this work. But yeah, no, it's been great to have. I mean, obviously, on the VCR podcast, when we don't have like a lot of stuff to go through, we have like a good half-hour intro where we just talk about what we've been doing. And a lot of what it's been for the last like month and change has basically been this and GTA 5. Because I finally went back and played it for free on Epic since they put that up for free. And I've been getting back into the grind, because it's a great game to grind, like just doing like special cargo or import-export, or if it was that week, Motorcycle Club stuff, and just doing things like that. Because it's great to have, because it's very mindless once you get used to where everything is, and then I can just put on like because I have a lot of like podcasts or long YouTube videos that I watch, so it really helps to have something that I don't need to focus on too hard so I can pay attention to what I'm listening to. That works out pretty nicely. But yeah, Fall Guys really helped out a lot because I was starting to get really bored, because my list of... well, my backlog is... there is a backlog, but it's the kind of backlog that it's like, I don't need to play that game. Or it's like, I tried that, I wasn't too into it, but I could finish it if I wanted to. It's been like that, but... this is a game that I can just pop on. Especially now that I'm going to start doing these solo streams more often, this is definitely a game that I can just pop on, play like an hour of, and be pretty happy about it. Because that's usually what, like anywhere between like 5 to 7 games, depending on how far you go. Because I'm usually... I will say this, like I'm at the point now that if I lose the first round, it's usually because a lot of bad things happened all at the same time. I have to have a pretty bad day to lose the first round now. I've gotten pretty used to all of these. Oh no. Nope, we're waiting. Damn it. Alright. It's not ideal. I think we're still okay, though. Not as okay as I'd like to be, but we're still okay. Oh, we're really close. Oof. We almost lost on that one. Oh wait, this isn't the first round. I was like, wait a minute, why is it only 31? Oh yeah, we just did Whirligig. Yeah, no, like, Game Pass has given me a couple of things. Like, I really enjoyed Crosscode. That was a really good game. I would suggest that one for anybody who remembers like the old Secret of Mana games. It's very much like that, but you're trapped in an MMORPG. It's a really cool game. Like, the aesthetics are great, the music's really good, the story's actually pretty decent, and the gameplay is fun as shit. Like, that game has some really good parkour elements to it, and I spent way too much time traversing the map trying to find every treasure chest, especially in the first few maps. By the end, I started like avoiding side quests because I started playing it long enough that I'm like, all right, I just want to finish the story. But this game was well worth the little that I paid for Game Pass for it. Let go of me. Stop it. Let's wait for this. Get some freedom. Where are we at? 413 gone. Try to avoid the crowd if I can. They're all still over there, so let's stay on this side if we can. Oh, they're all starting to come back by the looks of it, so... Ow, go away. So I'll move to the other side. We'll try to find a clear path here. We're almost done, too. 9 of 13 are gone. Uh-oh. Oh, it took that a little bit rough. Couple more hang in there. Stay away from them. There we go. It's also been weird too because I've really wanted to just watch a bunch of stuff and now I can't find the urge to do it. Like ever since COVID, my urge to watch anything, like I haven't watched like any TV shows, I haven't watched any anime. I finally got rid of my Crunchyroll subscription, which is like 4 or 5 years that I've had it for, because I wasn't using it. And it just got to the point that I'm like, man, I can't, even though it's so little, it's like $8-9. Like it's nothing, but still I'm spending money literally to do nothing. So at some point I had to change that. And it sucks because I can't even really tell you why, like I don't have an urge to watch anything. It's just whatever COVID's done to me, like mentally, it's just kept me from being like, I don't want to sit still. I want to at least do something. So like I've been gaming a lot. Like that hasn't changed. It's just in terms of sitting down and just watching something has kind of stopped. This is one of the games I can do without. This mode is just one that I'm like, eh. I would not be nearly as opposed to it if it was just the obstacle course, like if the end wasn't a thing, but because of the you have to, you know, eventually guard, especially when it goes down to the last two. Actually, we're in pretty good shape here. I think we're already fine. That's about as smooth as it can ever go. Like they've realized, okay, we're gonna be the first ones, so they're now gonna focus on making sure that the other team can't get it. And that's the only thing I don't like about this. I really think it should just be an obstacle course. Like, there shouldn't be the blocking bit to it. It should just be, hey, you have to work together, and whoever gets out of the course fastest wins. Like, if it was up to me, I just extend the course and then have the little bit of the drop, and that's the end. I wouldn't want to... like, the fact that it turns into this basically just turns into a bullying game, which is not nearly as fun to me. I think it'd be much more of a team game if the challenge is you have to work together. If the challenge in this one is, if you're not the first one to finish, you have to basically just keep the other team, like, it suddenly becomes less of a team game and more of, like, you just gotta get in the way. Like, that's the only thing you gotta do. And naturally, because of this, I'm gonna be sitting here for a while because this is gonna take a while. So, this would be the ideal kind of game to have if I had fans and donations to read or comments to read, but since I'm doing this solo, this makes it even worse, because now I'm just bored as shit. Probably take a pee break at this point if I needed to. Right there going. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, the other one's still trapped in the corner. This is pretty much all said and done. Yep, there it goes. See, they heard me talking. Alright, so we're gonna get another team game to empty it out, or actually we might get tiptoe, now that I think about it. Or are we just going straight to the end? Because that can happen. We can sometimes get hexagon at this, I believe. I'm trying to think, did we even get Fall Mountain at 12? I think that is possible. Or even Jump Showdown now. Oh yeah, we are getting hexagon, alright. Let's see how terribly this goes for me. As it usually does. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Nope. Oh boy, that was close. Alright, try to separate. Oh no. No, we're not separating at all here. Okay. Oh, get off of my platforms. Get out of here. Shoo. Nope. There better not be somebody on my side. We had 5 of 11. Nah. 6. Oh boy, if I drop, this could be really bad. Come on. Ah, damn it. Oh boy. That sucks. Yeah, if I just made that one jump, I might have had a little bit more time to work with, but I did not. Oh wow, there's, yeah, that was the stuff I was trying to go for. If I'd taken that away from him, maybe he falls sooner. Well, that guy's gonna win. Yep, easily. That's a tough one. Of course, Nose has been cooperating all friggin' morning, and then the second I start streaming, it's like, hey. It's in the store anyway, now that I think about it. Anything decent? Nah, not really. Actually, that's not too bad. Yeah, that's what we work towards after this. We're gonna take a quick break, though, and talk about a couple more things here. So... Alright, which thing do I want to touch here? Let's go with the one that I'm actually, like, really unhappy about right now, so. I don't own a Switch. And I probably won't at this point, like, unless I'm suddenly making a little bit more money, so I have the extra disposable income for it. But I've really had an issue with how a lot of Nintendo fans will try to defend a lot of stuff, and specifically, there's one thing that's happened recently that I feel like needs to be talked about, needs to be called out for what it is, and that's the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection that they are putting out for only 6 months. Now, there are a bunch of things that I want to say about it. If it was just the physical copies were being printed for 6 months, but you can still get it digital, then I have no problems. If it's just a physical thing and they want to just make it available digitally, whatever, no big deal. But because they're actually taking it off the store in 6 months, or what I think is going to happen, which is they're going to sell each game individually, and they're going to charge you $30 for it, or even $40. Because Nintendo is one of those companies that doesn't understand that a game that is 20 years old should not be priced that high. But, you know, it is what it is with them. But it really has bugged me that for so long, I've watched Nintendo make a bunch of mistakes, a bunch of really, really, really stupid mistakes, or really like anti-consumer ideas, and people won't defend that. Or sorry, people will defend that. And then the second that Sony and Microsoft do anything, all of a sudden, oh, it's fair game. Like, we can bitch about them as much as we want. I'm a Sony guy, and I still bitch about Sony when they do stuff, you know? I'm really unhappy, and we'll get to that probably at the end of this when I talk about how the new generation of consoles are being handled. But Nintendo specifically, I find there is no audience that is more defensive when you challenge what their company does than Nintendo. And this is just my opinion. I might even be wrong, but this is how I see it. And I don't understand how anybody can defend a company putting a huge nostalgia product on their game, especially one that is so loved by, you know, obviously people that really, really, really loved those 3 games specifically. Obviously, Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy. A lot of people are already really upset too that Super Mario Galaxy 2 isn't included in that, but I mean, it's 3 games, and it's 3 really good games from 3 different eras, which is a great package. Really great package. And the idea that there are people that think that it's okay for a company to say, hey, 6 months from now, you can't have this, period. This package is gone. Donezo. Never happening. Kind of like what Disney does when they take stuff out of the vault. Like Little Mermaid comes out, you know, in physical copies for a few months, and then they take it away again. It's that kind of stuff. Although I don't know if Nintendo will bring that package back. You know, I'm led to believe, like I said, that they're going to make it so that every game is solo. That every game is going to be $30, $40 if you want to buy it. I really, really doubt that they're going to just split it into $20 games. Because if they did that, I wouldn't be nearly as opposed to that either. But I have a really bad feeling that they won't, because Nintendo is very notorious for overpricing their games or never putting good sale prices on their games. Breath of the Wild is still $70. You know, the most I ever see for that game to go on a sale price is like 25% off. Whereas a game like Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition, you can get for like $20 sometimes, which is not just the game, which is all the DLC. Breath of the Wild, you still have to pay like at least $50, $60 for just to play it. And that game's older than Spider-Man. It's pretty ridiculous. So I really don't understand how people can be okay with the idea that something so driven with nostalgia like the Super Mario games are, and for something so cool for the 35th anniversary, and they put out something really, really cool, but then they're going to take it away from you. Like, there are people that are not going to be able to afford a Switch in the next 6 months because of COVID. So there are people that won't even have a chance to get this game, because you're certainly not going to spend $60, $70 on a physical copy of a game for a console you don't own. That doesn't make any sense, especially in these trying times. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any damn sense. Like, I would never do that. So who is this for apart from the hardcore faithful? And if that's what they're going for, then, geez, I guess Nintendo's not really all about families. I guess they're really not all about the casual gamers like they were with the Wii and the Wii U. They're all about just the suckers, the people that will always buy the games that they do, just because their name is attached to it. And that's a real shame. I really do believe that this is going to be a great package, and especially for $60, that's a really good package of 3 incredible games. 3 really good games. I still wish they'd charge like maybe $40 for it, because again, I don't like the idea that you can take 3 games, all of which I believe are over a decade old. Because I know, I mean, obviously Sunshine and Super Mario 64, but how old is Super Mario Galaxy? Galaxy was 2007, yeah, so it's 13 years old. So Galaxy is 13 years old as the oldest game in that package. And you're telling me that's between the 3 of them, it's $60? Especially when most people can emulate at least the first 2? Seems a little bit weird to me, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But the fact that you're also taking it away from people then, like if you want to charge $60 for it, okay, whatever, we can talk about like the price being a little bit too much. But the second that you say, oh, and by the way, this is only available for 6 months, both physically and digitally, now you're doing what Nintendo loves to do, which is to control the amount of stock. And we're already seeing on eBay copies of this game for over $100, which is insane. This game is like just a thing that's happened now. and it's already being overcharged by resellers. It's just stupid. Nintendo knows what they're doing, by the way, because they know that they figure that if they keep doing this, that if they reduce the stock, because Switches, it's always a big deal. Like, I follow a Twitter account called Game Deals Canada because I'm Canadian. I need to know my information for me. And every time Switches go back in stock on Amazon, that Twitter account will just announce that they're back in stock. They won't say it's a sale. Like, there's no sale. They're just back in stock. How old is this console now? I think the console itself is, what, 3 years old? Switch. Of course, it just gives me... Come on now. Nintendo Switch. There we go. Get the wiki page. Yeah, 2017. So it's over 3 years old now. So it's what, like 3.5? So this console's 3.5 years old, and it's still not a constant fixture in stores. They're regulating the stock because they want to make sure that there's always that, oh my god, we gotta buy it because it's in such a limited quantity. That's stupid. Why not just make all your like as many consoles as you can and just keep selling them? Because clearly people are buying them if you're always running out of stock. It's the same thing with, you know, the next gen consoles. Like, Sony said ahead of time, hey, this is how much our production run's going to be. So at least people know, like, there's a lot, and it's going to be almost 10 million copies of the console. That's quite a few. It's definitely a lot for a first run. But I guarantee you that once they get really back into the swing of things, you're going to be seeing them on the shelves all the time. They might run out of stock like around the holidays, but as soon as we get to like February, March, you're going to see them on the shelves all the time. It's going to be pretty rare to see them out of stock. Whereas in any store, any website, any distributor really, or any wholesaler, you're always seeing Switches out of stock. Especially the colored ones, I find. The blue and red ones are always out of stock. And that's the one that I'd want, because a plain gray one just looks kind of boring, doesn't it? But that's really frustrating that, you know, they can't help themselves. They do this really cool nostalgic trip, and they still gate you from it. They still say, hey, if you don't get this in 6 months, none for you. And that's really irritating. And then speaking of irritating, EA is at it again. Now, this is the story that I saw recently that I just saw really funny, but this also goes into line with Madden 21. But let's start with this. So as soon as reviews came out and really kind of settled, like all the mainstream outlets like IGN, GameSpot, you know, all them, they put out their reviews and did really positive reviews. All of a sudden, wouldn't you know it, all these in-game ads suddenly come into the game. And they're not even just like small ads, you know, on the bottom at the menu. No, they're during the game. Isn't that interesting that they wait until all the reviews are done to suddenly throw that in? Isn't it so interesting how they have just a switch they can turn on for that? Isn't that interesting? It doesn't seem like, you know, EA is one of those companies that, you know, tries to, you know, milk what they can out of things and be very dishonest with the customer and things of that nature. No, EA's never done that. I haven't boycotted them for almost 2 years now because of that. I haven't bought a single game under EA's banner since the Star Wars Battlefront 2. Or was it Star Wars Battlefront? No, it was Star Wars Battlefront 2 thing. The DLC issues. And I've been okay with that. I mean, obviously, BioWare hasn't been making good games, going back to what I said earlier in the stream. They haven't been doing that for a while, so that was pretty easy. Otherwise, you know, I haven't had any reason to buy anything from it. It's been pretty easy, actually. I should be pretty clear in saying it hasn't been that hard to buy EA games, because generally speaking, it means I don't buy sports games and I don't buy Battlefield. That's usually what I have to do, and that's pretty easy to do these days. But it doesn't change the fact that this company continues to be one of the most horrible and dishonest game publishers out there. And that also comes into play with Madden 21, when once again, a lot of people are freaking out because the game is clearly copy and pasted. I was trying to find them. Angry Joe did a video about it where he screamed about it for about an hour and showed different things about it. And he has a couple clips in that video, so go check out his video on it to see those clips. I can't seem to find them like just Google searching them. But there are two things that were very notable. One of them is that last year with Madden 20, you could see in the strip banners and the stands, like, you know how some stands, like in each tier, in each like deck, they have the little LED things where they do like advertisements and stuff. Well, they neglected to change the copy and paste of it, and Madden 19 was still on some of these banners in Madden 20. Well, the same happened in Madden 21. I believe it was something on the practice fields, I think, where one of these little, I don't know what you call them, but they were these like almost like a crash, like one of those things you see in like paintball outdoor things, like those weird like triangle shaped things. And it was like where the water cooler is in the practice field. And again, it says Madden 20 on it, not Madden 21. And there's another, I think it was a tweet, where a guy compares 4 straight games of Madden and how the championship animations for winning the Super Bowl are basically all the same. They just change the order in which these shots appear. And that's really, 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 really fucking stupid. And the fact that people will constantly accept that. And I know why that is because, well, quite frankly, sports gamers, the core of them, don't surf the internet and look at the same kind of videos and the same kind of content as traditionally hardcore gamers do, because hardcore gamers are looking at the full spectrum of games, where sports gamers, they don't really give a shit because all they do is play Madden or FIFA or whatever, right? Like, that's all they're into. All they care is they get their new game and they get the roster update. They don't really care about what else happens in there. And I don't understand why that is, because, you know, you figure you wouldn't want to spend $70 for a game and then also spend a shit ton of money on top of that in these digital cards with the Ultimate Team stuff or Diamond Dynasty and MLB The Show. You'd figure that those people would be like, hey, I paid for this game. Why am I suddenly paying all this for digital trading cards that have no value to them? I can't sell these. So why am I spending money on it? But people fall for that trap because it's such an easily addictive scenario. And that's why we keep asking that these things get regulated in the same way that gambling does, because that's essentially what they are. The only difference is that it's even worse than gambling, because at least if you gamble and you win something, it's got value to it. If you win something in a slot machine, it's something, it's value. If you win a game of poker, you get some chips, like there's value to those chips. If you win, let's say, because MLB The Show was my big thing for the last 2 years. I haven't bought the new one because I don't want to support that shit. You know, a Mike Trout card in MLB 19, I remember looking this up, was worth about 120,000 stubs, which is their currency. And if I remember correctly, the actual real world currency that would require to get that many stubs was like $100. So because I have this card, which I got through using the market, I got all of them without paying a cent. I finished the entire active the live rosters, like the people that were actually playing at the time. I maxed all of them out just by doing the market, and it took work. Yeah, it took a lot of work. But again, it's better than spending $60 on top of the $60, $70 already paid. Or I guess $100 just to get Trout. It's stupid. And I don't understand why people, well, I really, when I say I don't understand, it's like I can't fathom how that many people are that stupid to not notice it or even care. I know why, because they just don't care. They all they want to do is play their sports games. And I've seen a lot of excuses from people. Like, I've seen dads go around, for example, and be like, well, I don't have a lot of time to play these things, so I want to be able to get all these things, so that's why I have to spend money. To which I ask the question, why not just not play that game or even play that mode? Like, why not? Here's an idea. Why not just play the Be a Pro like version of it? Why not just play franchise? Why not just play season mode or GM mode? Why do you have to play Ultimate Team? If you want an all-star team so bad, go into franchise mode, turn on fantasy draft, and you can just have whatever team you want. Ultimate Team is meant to get money out of you. That's all it is. It's not meant to be fun. You're just playing the same game, but you're spending money for it. You have to spend money for it. In my case, it took, I want to say, 4 to 6 months through playing the market every day to max out those rosters. That's how long it took me. It might have even taken longer than that. I can't remember. But the fact that it takes that much time, it's the same thing with Star Wars Battlefront 2, where somebody figured out how long it was going to take you to unlock Darth Vader if you did it fairly. They did it the right way. It was stupid the amount of time it would take. Ultimate Team is not meant to be a fun mode. It's meant to be a sucker mode. That's what it is. And I played it because it is kind of fun to collect these things, because that's like the inner like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card guy in me. But I also recognize as a Magic the Gathering and Yu-Gi-Oh! Player that eventually there came a point where I was spending way too much money to justify what I was doing with it, because it's not like I was playing in tournaments. I wasn't selling any of these things off. I was just collecting them. And at one point, you got to just figure out that, hey, it seems kind of silly to, you know, spend hundreds of dollars on something you're not going to sell. It only just has like minor value to you. It seems kind of silly. So with EA, with Madden, you know, I'm not surprised that it's another copy and paste, because they know that they can do that with those games and no one's going to care. Now, the rating on Metacritic for it, give me a second to pull that up, is actually what it should be. And I wish the review score would be even lower than that. But the actual reviews, the user review score, is just hilarious to me. It's under a 1. And it's going to keep staying like that because people are that upset about it. Now, this, again, this doesn't do anything for the people that don't care. No one is looking on Metacritic that is a hardcore sports gamer that doesn't give a shit about this stuff. And the fact that it's still a 70 is really irritating. Like, what are people reviewing it at? Oh, there's barely any critic reviews. So what's the highest reviews here? So the only positive reviews, so it's probably Game Informer that's really taking it. Because Game Informer's got weight. I don't know what any of these 3 places are, so I'm willing to bet they don't carry as much of the rating. But because Game Informer actually carries some value to it, it's probably kept it above a 70. Because there's a lot of 60s here. And yeah, like none of the major places have shown it. Like IGN doesn't have one here. GameSpot doesn't have one here. Because they know that they would get criticized like a son of a bitch if they gave that thing what they probably would give it, which is a 7.5 or an 8. Like IGN Spain, because again, the non-American ones, they're usually pretty honest, I find. And then this is the one time that I wish Polygon would actually put in a rating, just to be like, look, you got to do your part and make sure that people understand that this is something you don't buy. But yeah, I'm almost positive that Game Informer is what's keeping that above. But then the user reviews, 846 negative reviews and 25 positive. What do the positives say? Okay, let's see this one. I have no idea what everyone is talking about. The game is great unless you didn't like franchise last year. It's perfect. Superstar KO had many bugs. The art is so much fun. That's the key here. MUT got updated a bit. Doesn't say anything about it. The one key thing that everybody's mad about, and people have, see, I feel like this is a troll anyway. But I mean, let's assume that this is an honest review. Let's really assume that's an honest review. You know that these are people that are trying to just convince themselves that this is not what's happening, that this is people just hating on it, and they're trying to justify it in the same vein that like we all the time as kids, especially back in the days of my childhood when you had Super Nintendo and games, you didn't get a lot of games because games were a lot more expensive back then. So when your parents got you something, even if it was a bad game, you try to tell yourself this is good and you try to play it all the time because you need to get the value out of it. People now are spending money on these games and they're trying to justify it because they can't admit to themselves that they just spent $60, $70, $80 plus microtransactions on a game that didn't give them anything. They gave them the same experience that they've gotten for the last, 10 years with like slight alterations. Like really? I've heard the yard mode is kind of cool, but again, there are microtransactions because there's all the friggin' cost, there's all the designs and stuff. So again, they're trying to get money out of you. There's no way around it. And people are falling prey to it. And because of that, they're trying to justify it. They're trying to defend it. And thankfully, this is one of those times, going back to the user reviews, that people aren't falling for it anymore. Either that or the people that would be making the positive reviews, they aren't paying attention to it. But the people that really give a shit about the industry. Now, again, I don't like the zero thing. I really do think that that's not a good way of looking at it. If you're really being honest, like realistically, this thing is like a 4 or 5. Like, be honest with it. I hate the zeros and the 10s when it comes to reviews. Like, take a look at what happened with Last of Us 2, with so many other very controversial things where it's just a cascade of zeros, 1s, and 10s, basically. That's pretty silly. I do think that's really dumb because that takes away. That's why I tell people all the time, don't really give a shit about what Metacritic says. The reason I'm just looking at it here is because at least it gives you a rough idea of what the mainstream outlets are saying. Like the user reviews really don't mean much of anything. Unless like a game is actually like down reviewed in mainstream media, and then it's the opposite, like the review score is really high, then maybe you kind of look at that and be like, maybe the game's actually really good, and there's a reason why journalism outlets are being mad at it. Or if the user review score is really low, like in this case, and the review score would actually be really high, like if Madden was actually like rated at a 80, and the user review score is really low, then you could be like, okay, what's going on here? Now you could still look at it and be like, okay, well, Last of Us 2 got really low user review scores because people were just bombing it because, you know, sexism, transphobia, homophobia, all that kind of shit. We all know that's the thing that happened with that game. But if, say, the user review score was like, say, around like a 5 or a 6, and the Metacritic score is at like 90, maybe there's something going on here. But because it was so low, like you knew it was just being bombed. In this case, it is being bombed. But again, the review score is already so low. Like 70 is pretty low for Metacritic, especially for a AAA game. That should be your sign to be like, okay, something's really wrong here. And unfortunately, sports gamers don't care because they're just a perpetual, endless cascade of suckers. And there's not a whole lot we can personally do. Like, we can talk about all we want. We really can talk about all we want, but until we finally get to sports gamers, and the only way that happens is if the mainstream media starts talking about it. And that's why we keep trying to push it. We keep trying to push the gambling stuff. Because as soon as it becomes that, one of two things have to happen. Either EA will ignore it and then the mainstream media will talk about it and then they'll have no choice, or because at least it's being enforced, they're forced to actually do something. And that's all we can really do. We just keep going back to the ESRB and just saying, hey guys, like, why isn't this being regulated for gambling? Just keep pushing that. That's the narrative we need to keep pushing along, and then maybe sometime down the road, we'll finally get things going the way that they should be. So, you know, let's boot up some more Fall Guys again, and then I have one more big rant that I'll do towards the end. And then we'll probably play a couple more games after that, or we'll play as long as I feel like till probably I need something to eat, and then that'll be it for the stream. I saw one viewer kind of dip in and out, but nobody came in. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think that this stream's going to get much of anything for a while, to be honest. And I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case anyway. And I think the person that came in earlier came in because it was still under Fall Guys. And then I realized, shit, I should probably have changed it back to Talk Show. This guy's probably going to be sitting here being like, why is he not playing Fall Guys? But, there we go. We switch that back over. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, I exited and didn't apply it. Oops. Seesaw, eh? Or as I like to call it, if you're not in the front, you're screwed. You're gonna have a bad time. Alright, well, I'm not quite in the front, so we'll just have to see what happens here. Oh boy. Oh, kind of in the front. My platform. See, case in point, this game is actually a lot easier if you're the one in the front, because then you can just kind of go at your own pit. Like, as long as you're staying consistent, you just keep going. Oh, this is gonna probably start screwing with me. Oh. Alright, probably go the same way this guy goes at this point. Yeah, this is one of the smoother runs I've had in a while, and that doesn't happen very often. Oh, I'm gonna be first? I am gonna be first. Aha! I think it's the first time I've ever been first in Seesaw. Oh, that was horrible. What are you doing? Oh, here goes another. Oh, there's a soda can one? I haven't seen that one yet. I want that. That looks cool. That's the other thing I like about it too. There's still like some outfits, because the store's not the same for everybody. There's some stuff that I've seen that I've just never come across still in the store. I'm sure it's probably, the pop can, for example, is probably come out because I haven't played every day. But I love the fact that like I can log onto the store and then see like there's some stuff that I've never seen before. I think that's really neat. Oh, there goes that guy. Oh, we're still only halfway. Shit. Well, I guess that doesn't help when there's like a bunch of people hanging out by the front. It's the other thing with like the hackers on PC, like a lot of the trolling that I see in this game too. I mean, it's a popular game, that's what's gonna happen, but it's always one of those games. I'm like, man, like this is such a happy-go-lucky game. Why would you ever do that kind of stuff? But it goes back to the whole thing of like, why would you troll in the first place? And obviously that's a massive conversation. It is a real shame, but thankfully it keeps going back to this one guy who's just AFK over there. Looks like we're running out of time here. People are starting to finish off. Yeah, this is probably going to be the last little group of it. Oh, there's room for a couple more. Room for one more. Who's going to get it? Yep, there we go. I'm trying to think. Have I even gotten a first place medal before? I'm really trying to think about it. I don't know if I have. Alright, what's up next? See, now it's hot in here again. I gotta turn the fan back on. Jesus. It's not, I don't even know if it's that hot out. What is it like up here? Yeah, it's only like 21, 23 degrees Celsius. It's not that bad. I think it's just, it's probably because I have like the heat on. Also, this chair that I'm in can get pretty warm if I sit in it for a while. Although it's not really where I'm sitting. It's more like just in general. So maybe it's not that. Maybe it just actually is a little bit more heated in here. I wonder if they've turned the heater back on in my building. That might be possible too. Ah, damn it. Get up. No. Okay. Alright, we're going up the long way. Wait for it. Oop. Still going to the side, though. There's enough people that will screw up going up the middle or whatever that I'll still have plenty of time to work with. Ow. Ooh. Alright, and can I cross it without it? Yep. Uh-oh, get up. Oh boy, that was close. Can I make it? Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be, I think, top half. Yeah, I got one more thing to talk about, at least at this point in the stream. Like, actually, you know what? That's what I probably should do, is I should look at Reddit, see if anything's been going on lately. That's the other thing. But I only have like one major topic to go through at this point. And like I said, we'll play some more Fall Guys to cap it off. Yeah, I'm seeing Cyberpunk's saying they won't be very aggressive with the microtransactions. I really, really hope that Cyberpunk ends up being as good as I want it to be. That's the one thing that I'm always worried about. Because, I mean, Cyberpunk is the first game that I've pre-ordered in, like, since basically Andromeda. Damn it! Why do I always end up grabbing the people who don't have tails easily? And then whenever I try to grab someone with a tail, like I'm standing right next to them, it just doesn't work. Mine! Uh-oh. Oh! How much time I got? I still got like almost a full minute. Ah, damn, there was somebody there and I didn't even see him. Gotcha. No! Get away from me! Nope. Oh, oh boy. Oh no. Uh-oh. 15 seconds. Oh boy. Oh boy. Five, four, three. I think I'm okay here. Yep, we're good. Whew. Tail tag is one of those games in the early stages that I'm actually worried about because that's one that I always seem to have a little bit of trouble with. Let's see what else is going on here. Kotaku on the UK is completely closing down. I'm sure the Kotaku in Action guys are really happy about that. PlayStation focusing on VR this week. No news probably coming up for PS5. Whatever, that's fine. I'll get into that later. That's the last thing I want to talk about. I didn't even see what mode we're on. Oh, we're in the... I can't remember what it's called. Oh, I couldn't even get that one. Oh, that sucks. Hey, you got that one, buddy. Get up! Come on! Come on! Fuck! Damn it! Nope! Damn it. Oh! Mine! Mine! What?! Nothing being brought around here. That's pretty unusual that it goes this long. Oh, well, everything on the other side. What's going on over there? Oh! Nope, I'm not gonna try that. I'm not gonna make that. Get the one that you know you can get. Aha! Nope! Damn it. Yeah, we're basically fighting off red at this point. Yeah, we got that one. Let's go back up here, take a quick look around. Nope. Come on, guys, get those. Damn it. I can get that one. Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. Oh yeah, we're already winning anyway. Alright, we're good. Oh, it looks like I just face planted on that. And we're down to 10. That could even be Fall Mountain at this point. Probably a fun. Well, I guess they could do a 5v5 fall ball if they really wanted. Oh, come on. Why? I'm not gonna get anything for it? Well, that sucks. He was doing so good. Actually had a good tail tag for once. Oh, it's some... Well, that's cool. So apparently somebody has made the Scott Pilgrim video game playable on PC. Now, this might get taken down real quick, but that's really neat. Yeah, I'd love to be able to play that game again. That was probably one of the more fun games. Don't go the middle. You know not to go the middle. Yep. Perfect. Should have kept going on the other side, but it's okay. It's okay. We're okay. Ooh, that was closer than I wanted it to be. Either way. That's one of those games too that if we get that first round, I gotta really have a bad game to miss that one. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's too much else in storyline, so it looks like I only have one more thing to go through. I don't even know how many stories I'll have every week, because my thought process is at least to do one of these a week. It may be possible there are just weeks that nothing's going on. A lot of this stuff, too, is older stuff, too. So, who knows, maybe it just ends up being more of a gaming stream than anything else, but hey, it is what it is, right? Only been going about an hour and a half, that's not too bad. Oh, that didn't work immediately. Alright, fine. Fine. Oh my god. This is one of the more... Oh boy. I'm really playing with fire here. Okay, we're good. This is one of those modes that's just like, even when I think I'm getting better at it, I still have like just something bad enough happens that you're just like, nope, never mind. Ow. Stop. Uh-oh. Okay, we're good. Okay. Let's see, can I make this the first try? Hey! That was a pretty good run there. Alright. That's a pretty good. There. Oh. Okay. Just get through this. And nicely done. Alright. It took me a long time, and I mean a long time to actually finish this. I think it took me like maybe 8 or 9 rounds of this to finally actually finish it once. Ooh, that guy was close. I wonder if that's me. That's the other thing too. Sometimes you can't tell if that's actually what happens or if that's the lag. Oh, that guy's gone. And okay. Oh, you're the last one, buddy. Come on. All eyes are on you. Nope. Oh. Oh, he's saving it. Come on, buddy. There you go. Get your ass in there. Alright, so far I've done really well in this, but I've never beaten it because I usually end up being the one with the bad luck being on a platform on myself, but the friggin' piece is coming right on the same time and there's nothing I can do. Let's see what happens here. Oh! Okay. Let's hover around here now and stick with it and see where we're going. Okay. Hover around here, see what we're looking at. Okay, so taking enough away that it's going to be a little interesting. Probably going to take this middle platform out. No? Okay. Alright. Oh, no! Oh, boy. Well, this guy on that platform is either going to win this game. Oh, okay, so it's gonna be all of us on one platform and him on his own. Oh, you lucky son of a bitch. Oh, he was trying to screw with it. Okay. Now it's just all about timing here. Now it's just see who gets lucky. Okay. Oh, there goes the other one. Oh, that was the guy that had the good dive earlier on the last round. Oh, this is bad. Oh, there we all go. Yep, somebody's winning who just didn't fall the furthest. That sucks. I think it was a banana guy there. Yep. So he got lucky. Oh, I'm looking at my replay. Could have I taken that differently? No, I was right to do that run. I just didn't get enough of an angle. That sucks. I probably would have won. If I had just gone a slight bit earlier, maybe I could have won that. Oof. Ooh, that hurts a little bit. So actually, you know what? Since I only got one thing left, you know what? I'll talk about that now. And then that'll do it. So I'm going to quickly change the stream back to talk shows. That way I don't get people in here who don't think Fall Guys is still going on. All right. So there's one thing left, and this is the big one. So I have been back and forth on consoles for a long time. I started out way when I was little. I started with the Sega Genesis. Super cool console, but then I got a Super Nintendo and realized, oh shit, this console's amazing. So many good games. That's literally, in my opinion, the best console. Ah, wait, it's PS2 or so. Ooh, now that I think about it, it's tough. But either way, that's still definitely the best, like, pre-3D console without question. I don't even think there's any questioning that. And then I moved up to an N64. That lasted, not too long. Moved to PS2. I think that might actually be my personal favorite. It may not be the best. I think that's the problem. Like, I'm the guy that's like, I can have a favorite and a best as two separate things. Like, for example, I think Final Fantasy X is my personal favorite Final Fantasy, period. No question. But Final Fantasy VI is easily the best Final Fantasy they ever made. So there is kind of that thing. So maybe PS2 is my personal favorite because, like, all my favorite games that I grew, like Final Fantasy X, Persona 3 and 4. I'm just looking at my shelf here, actually. Dragon Quest, Mana Khemia, Shadow Hearts, like Star Ocean, Suikoden, like so many of those JRPGs, because I'm a big JRPG guy. That was my console. But obviously, Super Nintendo has all the Mario games, Zelda, Metroid, like all that. So there's that too. But I went from PS2 then to 360, and then I went from 360 to PS4. And the reason I went from PS2 to 360 was because my brother owned a 360. Played a bunch of games on that already. So it just made sense to get a 360 and just not lose everything. But when the next generation came in, Xbox royally screwed us all over by saying, hey, we're not going to have DRM, so you have to be always online, no used copies, and it's a glorified TV box. So I went, all right, PlayStation, let's see what you got again. And then PlayStation's like, we got all the Japanese shit that you love, you freaking trash weeb. I'm like, that's a good point, Sony. So I went with PS4. And it was up to Sony now to keep me away from staying with them for PS5. And at this point, that's exactly where I'm going to stay. However, that does not mean that I'm okay with what's happening currently. Because, by the way, it's September 7th as I do this stream. So I don't know what you guys are seeing on the VOD. I don't know when this is going to get clipped and get posted onto YouTube. But it's been a long time since they first announced, or not announced the console, but showed off what it actually looked like on June the 11th. I believe that was the date of that stream. So we've been almost 3 full months since, and we've heard no new pieces of information. And here we are on September 7th, and we now know that they're coming in mid-November at the latest, probably. Like, it'd be pretty stupid for the holiday season to have it in December. Like, it's coming in November. So at this point, we're probably under, well, we're definitely under 90 days. We're probably under 70. We're probably maybe at most 60. 60, 70 days probably. Which makes it really interesting that, throughout history, this is a great article from Ars Technica, by the way, just showing like the trend so far in all of these. Now, a lot of consoles have definitely been trending downward. However, you think by this, okay, well, that's, obviously, maybe they're taking less and less time between releases. Here's the thing. This is numerically all the big ones. Notice how each generation, this is not doing what I wanted to. Come on. Notice how each generation. So that was pretty big. Now, obviously, Microsoft is a little bit different with theirs. The PS3, still very much 6 months out. Nintendo does their own thing, apparently, now. And then again, this generation, still another like 6 months. Because it's basically E3, right? E3 is when we get all the information. The only times in basically like all these generations, because it doesn't show PS1, so I'm not sure what they were at. But Sony has only ever been under 100 days with the PS4 Pro, which was just a better PS4. And here we are now with the PS5 and the Series X. Literally more than half the time that normally it takes is already passing. Like, literally, they never go this close to release date. And now, obviously, there could be a lot of reasons as the holdup. I mean, obviously, there's a pandemic going on, right? Like, we all understand this. We all know that, this is a very difficult business decision to make when a pandemic's going on. But at this point, like, if you're not going to release it in November, then you should have said something by now. Because your fans are hyping up like a son of a bitch. Like, Cyberpunk's been delayed way in advance, so we knew. Right? I have time booked off this month because that's when it was supposed to come out. And I still have that time booked off. I also have November booked off now. Hopefully I get to use that. But if they really were going to change the date, they should have done it by now. So we have to assume that this is coming out in November because it makes the most sense. Like, that's the time you want to come out. Throughout history, they're either really late October or November. Literally, the only console that hasn't been out in November out of these major companies has been the Switch. We're not talking handhelds. We're just talking home consoles. The last time a console came out of the big three, not in November, was the PS2. If we're not counting the Switch, so for at least 2 decades, basically, right? So November is always the time. And at this point, we kind of have the feeling, because, I mean, the WHO has said that the pandemic is likely not going to have a widespread vaccine until, like, May. So we're definitely still at least 6 months away from this thing being gone, if it's going to have a vaccine. Hopefully it does. So this console is coming out in November. It's September. This doesn't happen. And I know because E3 has not happened this year, that's probably a big part of why. But there's also more to it. And we got to think there's more to it. I mean, obviously, it's a pissing contest between Microsoft and Sony. We know that. But I think the biggest part of it has to do with how much this thing's going to cost. I really, really hope that this console, at the very least, I'm talking the PS5, I really hope that the digital version is at the most $499 US, which is about $650 Canadian for me. Any more than that, and I don't know how I can justify that cost, especially now when Nvidia's come out with these amazing new graphics cards that cost about as much. You know, I'm already at the point, and I've said this on the podcast, obviously those watching the VOD or watching the stream are not going to know this. I've boycotted Sony. Now, a boycott, by that I mean like I'm refusing to buy their console till a certain date. So I gave them until the end of August to announce the date and the price. And because they haven't, I said, okay, now I'm not going to buy this game till the first day of summer, which I believe is the 20th of June. So at the very least, I'm not buying this console for, 9 months? Gives me time to save up anyway. Like I said, I'm paycheck to paycheck. It's probably going to help. It's going to help a little bit than putting it on a credit card, you know? Now it's at the point that if they don't announce this month, I may just not buy it till 2022, right? Because we all know, like, gamers know that you can go at least a full year without a console. Because most of the major games are going to come out for the same consoles that you're already on. They're going to stick for previous gen because not everybody's getting that new console right away. So, in terms of the date, I'm already really upset about it. And the price is also worrying me because if that console at bare minimum is $599 for the digital version, holy shit. Because that's, I think, almost $800 now. So let's see, USD to Canadian. Because yeah, if I'm not mistaken, $499 was $650. Yeah, $653. If we go to up to $599, it's almost $800. $800. I do not have that kind of disposable. That's me saving up for quite some time. You know, especially when I think I know the 3070 is the same price, it's $499, and the 3080 is $699, which is $900. So basically, if I have to pay $800, let's say, for a PS5, why wouldn't I just see if I can get a 3080 in my PC and literally not have to think about upgrading my computer for fucking ever? Right? Like, that's an option I could have. I could just say, you know what, I'll just keep playing the PS4 for 3 years, and if there are specific exclusive games that I can't play on PS5 for a while, so be it. I'm really not going to be happy if I miss out on Horizon 2 or Spider-Man Miles Morales, because I believe both of them are exclusives, but if I have to wait, I'll wait. It's not that hard. I know a lot of people have trouble waiting for things, especially now, and I get that. But at the same time, waiting is really not that hard, especially in these ages of things like PS Plus giving you free games, or Xbox Game Pass, or all these free-to-play games you can play on Steam, or PlayStation or Xbox, or Epic's free games that you get all the time, or all these crazy deals that happen. There's so many ways that you can play stuff and not need to buy a game at launch. It's really rare that I buy any games at launch, and that doesn't even have to do with me being paycheck to paycheck. That's just me doing that because I don't think that I should be giving companies my undivided attention right away for games. They should have to prove that they deserve that attention from me. That's why Cyberpunk is getting my money right away. Also, Amazon put that thing off 25% off, so I actually paid only $55 Canadian for it rather than the usual 70. So that helped my decision making. But really, like, Mass Effect Andromeda basically told me that I should really never trust anything that I see and wait for the reviews. Spider-Man, I really thought was actually not going to be that great. And of course, I didn't play it until 6 months later after I'd heard from everybody how good that game was. And I played it, and sure as shit, it was one of the best games I played. Same with Horizon. Waited to see what reviews were for that because I had a bad feeling that game was going to be a little bit weird. Because the last time that a game looked so cool conceptually and was terrible was Watch Dogs. That game I pre-ordered, and I paid the price for that one. No Man's Sky. Really thought that looked cool. Paid the price for pre-ordering that one. So that's what happens. So now, I really try to avoid spending my money right away. Unless it's a proven commodity. And sometimes even then, I still am a little bit hesitant now. And when it comes to a console, it's going to be no different. I mean, sure, I'd really love to have a console that works now with a 4K TV that is sitting over in the distance that you guys don't see, that I spent specifically for this. And now it's just running my gaming PC right now. I really want to play that. Really do. Would love to. But we're not there yet. And we're not going to be there for a while. So unfortunately, at least till June the 20th, I'm not going to be going that route. And if they continue to do this, because they're having a pissing match with Microsoft, and because potentially this price may be too scary to give to people during a pandemic, then it is what it is. But if it really is something that you guys are so worried about, because here's the thing, by the way. If you announce the price and the other company undercuts you, you can just match. Right? It's happened before where I've seen prices go, like, you can probably go through a distributor, like, you can have a deal where it's like, hey, like, we'll reimburse you on this. Like, if you can prove that you pre-ordered a console and paid the full price for it, hey, we'll give you, like, let's say the console comes out at $699, and then they say, oh, actually, it's going to be $599 because Microsoft undercut us. Sony could just say, hey, if you can prove that you bought this thing for that price, we'll give you a one-time $100 code. And I'm not sure how they would go about it. Maybe people would game it, but, you know, it is what it is. If you really want to not get undercut, then that's what you got to do. It really just comes down to, I don't care if it's a pissing contest. I don't care if you guys are scared about the price. We're weeks away from having an unprecedented time between announcement of date and price and the actual launch. Because the Switch had the fastest turnaround with their 50-day difference between their release. And I think, yeah, it would really, they'd have to announce it at the end of September for it to match that. So really, we're probably about 3 weeks away from an unprecedented number of days. And I mean, Nintendo can get away with it because they weren't going to ship you that many consoles anyway. So who cares how much time they gave you? They weren't going to stock the place anyway. This is a much more major release. I mean, you think Sony doesn't want to have the same amount of sales that they did with the PS4? Because what are the stats right now? Because I think they're like second or third all time now. Not counting handhelds. Actually, they're second all time if you don't count handhelds. So if we don't count the two handhelds, they were the DS and the Game Boy, but they're basically, they own like one and two. They've even surpassed the Wii, which, by the way, I can't believe that the Wii didn't actually outsell the PS2. I know the PS2 sold well because it was a DVD player, but the Wii legitimately sold to like families. No console is ever going to pull off what the Wii did again. And the fact that the PS4 is past that, and the original PlayStation passed that, that's actually crazy. I would have thought the Wii would have passed the original PlayStation. That's actually really shocking to me. But PS4 is second all time. I don't know if it'll eclipse PS2. It might actually, if it stays around long enough, but it's still got a bit of a road. It's got 45 million units still to sell. That's still pretty incredible. That's still really incredible, actually. That they've sold 110 million copies in 7 years. Do you think that Sony doesn't want to do that again with PS5? And I guess the reason that they figure that is because if they announce the price early and it ends up being too much, people will come down on it. Here's the thing though, Sony. After Microsoft delayed Xbox Infinite, or not Xbox Infinite, Halo Infinite, I think you guys know that you've won. I can't remember what study I saw, but I think I saw something that said like 78% of all gamers, like that have been polled, are going to be buying a PS5. I wonder if I can find... Let's see. The problem is I'm trying to find like dates that would be recent. Yeah, this isn't going to be easy to find. I can't remember where I saw it, but it was basically roughly like 75 to 85%, something around that were polled and said they were choosing PS5 over Xbox Series X. And this was before Halo Infinite got delayed. So now there's really nothing on the Xbox that really is going to get your attention in terms of launch titles. So if you're just buying console for console, I think a lot of people are going to go with PS5 anyway. And it just becomes even easier now that the game lineup is pretty barren on the Xbox Series X. Whereas the PS5, to our knowledge, is going to have at least Miles Morales, which is a pretty big game, because we haven't heard anything about it, at least in terms of it being behind. We haven't heard any rumors of that stuff, so it'd be fair to believe that Sony, you're going to win this race pretty quickly in the beginning. So why worry about the price? You can always charge it later. You can always, like, after 12 months say, okay, we're going to charge it down to $100. We're going to $100 less. And we all figure we're going to get a pro version somewhere down the road too. So, or a slim version or something of that nature, right? So I don't see why we're waiting anymore. And who knows, maybe they'll end up announcing something tomorrow without anybody knowing. Who knows? There's always so many chances of shit happening, but I really don't believe it at this point. I keep making the joke that we're going to hear them announce the date of the PS5 when it's already been on store shelves. People are already going to own the console, and they'll come out and say, hey, by the way, you can get this console 2 weeks ago. It's just because I'm like, they're hiding so much. And it really does make me worry that the console's either going to cost a lot or that they're just having the most childish, like, fighting match right now, which is just silly. I think they need to stop that. Because as a consumer, it's a little frustrating when you're trying to want to get hyped about something and you can't. And not to mention, as a podcaster, as a streamer now, I mean, hopefully in the long run, a streamer, it's also frustrating because you want to talk about this stuff, and I can't talk about it. We've had so many times on the VCR podcast where we've literally just talked about nothing happening. Like, there's just no announcements. It's frustrating. Like, you want that stuff to keep going, and it's not. So, you know, it is what it is. But at this point, I'm not touching it till June anyway, and we'll just see if that number keeps going, because they have till the end of this month. Otherwise, it becomes, at least at the earliest, January 1st, 2022. But that's it. That's everything I want to talk about. So why don't we finish up with some Fall Guys? That sounds like a great idea. Probably go for another hour, and then that'll do it. But yeah, it's just really irritating, right? Like, I want to enjoy this. I really want to get this console. Like, there's nothing stopping me from getting the PS5. I'm pretty much convinced to this point that I'm getting one at some point. Probably in the next 3 years. Like I said, it depends on the price. If the digital version comes out at $500 US, I'll get that thing within the first 12 months. Unless, like I said, they announced it after September. And I've seen a lot of people be like, well, why do you care so much about when you get it? It's like, well, I know it's really not going to matter in the end whether or not I buy that console in June or next year or in 2022 or right at launch. I know it doesn't matter because people are going to buy it. But I need to be able to tell myself that I can stick to my guns on something, that I can say, hey, I can't just openly support this stuff every time. That's why I've boycotted EA because of their shit for 2 years, and have done it. That's why I've boycotted Ubisoft now, because of their just unwavering, like, intentions to not ever acknowledge the fact that they were really abusive to their employees. Same reason why I haven't gone for Activision Blizzard or Bethesda, just because I feel like they're just doing so many bad business practices that I don't think it's worth going after them anymore. So there are so many other game companies out there, especially with the indies these days. You don't have to do these big games anymore. You can just stick with that stuff. And again, like, in the case of, say, like, some of these, like, Ubisoft and stuff, if the game comes out for free, like, if Epic puts it on or something, or if it's, like, free for PS Plus, that's different, right? Because I'm not putting any money towards it. When I say I'm boycotting something, it means I'm not putting any money to it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, there I go. See, talk too much, and I paid the price. I think Sony and Microsoft are listening to me, so they kicked my ass. Not again. Okay, we're out. Oh, I might actually not make it. I might actually. No, I think I'm not going to make it. No, I'm not making it. Damn. Well, guess I had a bad round. Well, that's disappointing. After all the good stuff that I've been doing before that, now all of a sudden it's just not going so well. What do you know? Oh, at least, again, with these games, you can get out of it quickly and just go all over again. I'm trying to think, is that the first game, too, that I didn't even make it to the final round? Because I think I final rounded every other game, didn't I? Either way. But yeah, I don't know. I just really want to be excited for this whole thing. I figured that E3 being gone was going to be cool. I thought that the Summer's Games Fest was going to be a great idea because it would keep a constant flow, and it did, except for the big consoles. It's just been quiet on that front, and that sucks because I wanted to be really hyped for it. And instead of being really hyped for it, I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm not gonna care that much about it, you know. And I've seen so many rumors floating around. Oh, this day they'll announce something, or this day they're gonna do something on, and it's just not coming to be. So it's just at the point now where it's like, I don't care anymore. And that's why I was okay with saying, you know what, screw it, I won't even touch it till June now. I don't care, because that's the thing. They just made me not care anymore. And it's so much easier now, especially now that I have a gaming PC. If I didn't have a gaming PC, this might be different. But because I have that now, you know, I have a second option. I have other stuff I can go with. I don't have to be attached to one console. Because I mean, I have my laptop, and my laptop's like 8 years old. It has a GTX 650 in there. So there's a lot of games that I'm not playing anymore. So, you know, obviously now that I have a decent PC, it's got a 1650 in it, so it's a little bit better. And then hopefully down the road, I can end up looking at either 3070 or 3080, depending on if I can afford one over the other. Come on, get up, you son of a bitch. No, okay, or that's fine. That works. Can I make a good jump? Nope. No, I cannot. Stop it! Alright. Going the long way again. Herp. Yeah, I can wait. I can wait for the 3070 or in adding that if I really want to have, like, the power to play some really intensive games. You know, I can play that on on PC, because I can just play it with a controller anyway. I actually do prefer controller over mouse and keyboard. And I think it's because I'm so used to controller now. Like, I used to play Pro Counter-Strike, like, way back in the day during Source. Not very well. I'm not saying, like, it was, oh, God. I'm not saying I was a massive, success. Like, no, I didn't really have any success, but I was playing Pro. I was playing in tournaments. And I was really good then. And then I've tried to go back, and it's not been as easy. I mean, I can play, like, Left 4 Dead and stuff like that. I'm getting better. But I mean, if I had the choice, I'd rather just play with the controller, because I guess it's like I'm used to that. So I just do that. So I mean, any game that I really want to play with a controller, I can still do on PC, so it doesn't matter. Like I play with my PS4 controller on PC anyway because of what's it called? What's the program called? DS4. There we go. DS4 Windows. So I can do that. I mean, if I really, really had to play with an Xbox controller, I would just buy one. That'd be fine. No big deal. But, because I don't have to, you know, because I don't have to, I can still play a lot of games with a controller, so it doesn't matter. So I can move off PlayStation for a little bit, even though most of the games that I want to play are probably still going to be on PS4 anyway. So I can go 2-3 years without a PS5 easily if I really, really wanted to. But again, like, I want to have that console, right? You know, it's the whole reason I got the 4K TV to begin with. So I'd like to do that. I'd prefer to do that at some point. That would be the ideal goal. But if it means not doing it for a couple of years because either the price is a little bit too high or just in a matter of I feel as a consumer that I'm not being treated well enough, then I can do that. And it's not something that I'd hate myself for doing or be, like, bored out of my mind doing. There's plenty other options I can do now. And especially too once I mean, I think Project xCloud has already started, hasn't it? So I mean, technically, even if you have a really bad PC, like, you can now play a lot of Xbox games just streaming it. As long as you have a decent internet connection, you can do a lot. And it's only going to get better as time goes on. So, you know, it's going to become really amazing down the road when you don't have to spend all this money on these things. So really, all you're going to be paying for is like, I mean, yeah, consoles you're still going to pay a bit of money for just because you're going to be able to, oh god, yeah, I made a mistake on that one. You're going to be able to play, like, really, you're going to need to have, like, some sort of software that can play things in 4K. But I mean, generally speaking, like, even if you just have a TV and you just get, like, a little box that you can stream off of, and I'm sure at some point there might even be TVs that, you know, you can use xCloud with or whatever streaming service to play games with. I'm sure that's something that'll happen down the road too. So, you know, at some point, it's not going to make any sense to spend all this time worrying about this big piece of black plastic just to play a certain game for. You can just go and just be fine. Ooh, thank God. So yeah, I don't know, like, it's at the point that I think that we can go a while without these consoles, and if they want to wait as long as they want, then we don't have to support that. So Obviously, the hype bros and the people that are suckers and the people that were perpetually like fanboys of these things, they'll always get it because that's what they do. But for people on the outside like you and me, if you're kind of like what I am, you can go without it. You don't have to. Obviously, we can just wait and take our time with it, right? So, I don't know. I don't think we need to anymore. You know, there's definitely a lot of different options you can take now without having to spend an exorbitant amount of money right away. Especially, too, because, like, Black Friday will come around next year, and maybe there's a good deal for a PS5 then. You know, right? Like, you can get it with a game. Like, maybe Horizon comes out around that time. You never know, right? I only say June 20th is, like, that's the earliest. I may literally just wait. Alright, now I gotta focus. First round, you don't really gotta focus too much on. I almost feel like I want to see if I can screw people over in this round, too. I've seen a lot of people try to, like, fool people. I wonder if I could do that. Maybe that's what we'll try for a round. See if we can get people to fall for something. Alright, so banana, so grape, banana, and then there was an apple and an orange. Just where, yeah, so grape, banana, apple, orange. Okay. Wasn't a range that I could get. No. No. Alright, so apple, watermelon, cherry, banana, and grapes over there, and orange. Oh boy. Oh boy. Watch it be orange. It's totally gonna be orange. Oh, that's great. Well, at least I know where that is. Oh boy. Well, there go a few. Yeah, I didn't really get the chance to mess with people. I've seen some great clips, though, where, like, almost the entire game is done because of that. That's really fucking funny. I love that shit. And I've seen some people be like, oh, that's a terrible troll. I'm like, well, no, you're supposed to be paying attention to what's on the ground. If you're watching what other people are doing, then, yeah, like, you should be feeling bad that you fell for it. Because you should be the one paying attention to the squares yourself. Get off of me. Alright, starting to move. Alright, here we go. And boom. Again, and boop. Alright, 3 more gotta go. Comes again, and boop. Uh-oh. Ooh, that was a little rough. And boop. And boop. I've actually got some pretty good people for this one. Usually, oh, there goes one, there goes one. And there we go. Oh, I need to wipe my nose for a bit. Cold's still going. It's finally at the point where it's not so bad. So it's more just like at the tail end where it's just like, alright, can you just go now? Otherwise, I think probably in the next couple of days they'll be officially done. But man, for like at least like almost, I'd say like 9 days, it was just perpetually, constantly plugged up. And I know it's not COVID because I never had any itchy throat, I never had a cough. It was literally just all in here. And it was just horrible. There were some times where I couldn't breathe through my nose. It was so bad. Pretty brutal. And the amount of sneezing and a lot of fake sneezing, like false alarm sneezing. Oh my god, those are the worst. Because you end up looking like a dumbass for 15 seconds and then nothing comes of it. And you're just like, oh, come on, really? And I don't know why that happened. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not right off the bat. Get it out. Probably deal with this one. Shoot. Okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe there's already 2 guys playing back. Maybe I should be getting up a little bit. He's got that one. Let's go back over here. That one back in. You need to go away. Okay, well, that didn't work. Is that one? That's one. Oh, missed that. Stay back behind him. Make sure that doesn't get in. Oh boy. Oh boy. Nope. Nope. There we go. Yeah, over a minute. Come on. Oh, that might be. That might be. Yeah. What, did we just get another? Oh, we hit one off the post there. All right, so we're up 3. Minute to go. Pretty good lead. They're gonna have to start getting a little bit aggressive. Oh, that's a great. Okay, put that in the corner. That's looking good. Get off of me. Ah, damn. Okay, yeah. No, we're gonna have to try real hard to screw this one up. Yeah, okay, we've won this one now. A little rough getting that first one, but as soon as we got that, nice and easy. And that's gonna do it. That'll put us down to 6. Let's see what we get. I think we've gotten every mode except Fall Mountain at this point. And there it is. Well, let's see how this goes. We're down to 6. I find with Fall Mountain, it usually just ends up being who doesn't screw up the most. And it's usually never me. Especially now, because I think most people have played it enough that they don't miss the crown, so it's really just whoever gets through first. Okay. Where's the ball going? Okay, we avoid that. To go onto this side. Protect myself there. Off to a very good start. Oh, where's that ball gonna go? Okay. Nope. Okay. 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 Nope. Oh no. No, I blew it. I blew it. Oh wait, nope, maybe. Damn. Looks like we would have been there at the same time, so it would have been a 50-50 shot. But yeah. Kind of blew it towards the end at the hammer. I don't think I would have made it anyway. Yeah, it still would have been a 50-50 shot. Just looking at the replay on my end. He had it to it first. I might have had a better shot at it if I didn't screw up at the hammer there, but it still probably would have been a coin toss. Either way. Making it to the final round and making it that close, I prefer that over exiting in the first round like the last game, so. I'm looking at the time that we're doing here. I think I'll probably be good till 5:30 Eastern, which is another 45 minutes, so we'll probably keep going until then. Another stuff. What do we get? Whirligig? Alright. Ow. Sometimes you get lucky and you get propelled in the right direction. Not so much here. Alright. There we go. Uh-oh. I didn't time that well at all. Oh, no. Nope. No, 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 no. Nope. Nope. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This isn't going well. Oh, why am I doing that? I knew better. Okay. 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 Could have done that section a little better. Ow. As long as I go through this fine, we're okay. It's okay. We're not done yet. Nobody's finished. And I'm not gonna risk it. Now I can't. There we go. Hey, get off of me. I'm not too familiar with Twitch chat. It says I only have 2 viewers, which should be me and my TV. But I am seeing a couple of names in the users and chat section here. So if there's anybody else in here, don't hesitate to say hi. I mean, for all I know, it's just showing users who have been throughout the stream and not actually people that are active. But I feel like it'd be very weird if it would just list everybody that's been there the entire time when it says users currently in chat and it's showing me at least a few names. But yeah, if there are people here, don't hesitate to say hello. Oh boy. Get up! Get up! The side thing about Seesaw that I found is I think they need to fix it so that, like, in these initial ramps, oh, this is probably a stupid idea. No, that actually worked out. That they put only one in the front, because, like, it basically just leaves anybody from having the chance to do anything with it for a while, which is kind of silly. Like, I've had times where I'm just standing there for like a minute waiting for the ramp, so I have to literally go backwards just to get on, which I think is not the best of design. This one's usually not so bad because by the time you get to this point, it's separated a little bit. But that first ramp can be really rough. Oh, I definitely screwed that one up. Oh, plenty of time. Plenty of time. Especially on this one because no one's on it. Oh, it's a little off on the timing. Come on, guys, get up over on this side. We need to pitch it over. Yeah, if you think you can make that jump, go on that side, but you know we're not, so don't bother. Oh. Where are we at? Halfway? We're still okay. We're still okay. Oh, we were almost not okay. Oof. Yeah, going all the way back to the beginning of the stream when I was talking about Dragon Age 4, it's really a shame because I'm just looking at Twitter And the Game Awards is showing that they're past Game of the Year winners. And the first one that ever won was in 2014. That was Dragon Age Inquisition. It's just, again, what makes me so disappointed with BioWare for the last, like, basically 6-7 years now is that they were putting out some really good games, and then all of a sudden they've just lost whatever it was. It's just a real shame. Yeah, get up. Get up. Oh, boy. That's a lot of fruit. No banana. Oh. Oh, I got smoked there. Oh, that banana. No. Oh my god. No. I just want to finish. Oh crap, I didn't even. Wow. Wait, were that many people ahead of me? I didn't think I was that far behind. I thought like the entire group was with me. Shit. I'm also in a weird position that one of my monitors is blocking like part of the TV where I'm playing Fall Guys on right now, so I probably didn't see like half of what was going on the one side. I mean, I guess I should exit, shouldn't I? I wish if you were out that you could exit right away instead of having to wait until the game starts. I think that's a little bit silly. But again, hopefully it's a thing they fix down the line or something they at least apply in later. But the game has been so much fun that you kind of let it go. Sonic's planning a bunch of games for 2021 as their 30th anniversary. Well, as long as it's not Rise of Lyric or what was the other one? That was really bad. What's the one where you could create your own hedgehog and it was absolutely horrible? Is it Sonic Forces? Was that the one it was called? Can't type. Jesus. Yeah, it was Forces. Yeah, that thing was horrible. But I mean, I love to see them do like a big collection again, like all the 2D stuff all in one thing. Like even if they brought in like some of the old Game Boy games, that'd be pretty neat. Like just have a massive collection. I'd pay full price for it if it was like I'm talking like not 3 games like Mario 3D All Stars. I'm talking like a massive amount of games, like all the Genesis games, like a lot of like the other stuff on the side, like maybe like Adventure and Adventure 2, like things like that. Like do a big package like that. That'd be really neat. And then obviously you have other games as well. You know, you have obviously some new stuff. I just hope they've realized like after how successful like Generations was, and then Sonic Mania was, that they just say, you know what, maybe we should stop trying to like reinvent Sonic and just do Sonic in the way that we know it works and people end up loving it. Because I think, again, they went from Sonic Mania to Sonic Forces, and once again, people are like, Sega, like, how many times do we gotta teach you this? We don't care about these games. Also, just they've proved that even with Generations, like, the 3D levels in Generations were better than they usually are. Like, they weren't nearly as buggy, but the 3D Sonic games, just for whatever reason, don't seem to work very well because they're just so fast. Like, if you want to do like really fast 3D Sonic games, like that's what racing games can be for. But like Sonic games should probably just stick to being 2D because they just work better that way. If you want to do 3D stuff with Sonic, then you do things like adventure games, or you do like you don't have Sonic because Sonic runs way too fast to make any sense. But do like, you know what'd be really cool? Like Mega Man X Command Mission was a JRPG on PS2. Why not do like a Sonic JRPG? I think they did one on like DS or something. But like try that out. Like try something different instead of just, like again being like we're gonna make a 3D Sonic, and just never ends up being good, because every time you try to cram one down on us, we just go, no, Sega, it's crap, and they're still crap. Stay away from you. I wish the camera on this corner of the map would be a little bit better, like actually zoom out properly. It's a little bit strange that it's that bad on that side. Alright, so there's gonna be one. Why is he going in the corner? Does he not know he's jinxed? I don't think he knows he's jinxed. Alright, I'm gonna be in trouble if I stay here too long. Time to go. Oh, I think I just fell right into one. Oh, that was our own team. Thank fucking God. Alright. Where are we at now? Whoop! Oh, I just killed myself. Nope, that guy went around me. Oh, I walked into that. Nope. Damn. We might be losing here. Yep. That's why I don't like team games very much. Like I said, I wouldn't mind it if they'd have them separate. Like, that'd be really cool if you actually come in with a group. Or if you just want to play, like, only team games, like, that'd be nice. Although I figure the reason why they do is because no one would do it. They'd probably just do all the single ones. Which is a shame, but it's probably the big reason why. And again, I forgot to quit out of it, because, you know, I'm smart. We got another half an hour. I think we have enough for the Harlequin now that I think about it. Yep, so we're gonna do that. Maybe we change things up a little bit too. Let's get everything off first and actually pick our design. We're gonna do Harlequin regardless. The pattern looks really good on it. That looks pretty good. Yeah, I think we go with that. Well, yeah, I think we actually try that. Let's see what we can do with it. I don't really have a lot of these things to match with it, so we do nothing here. What can we do down this? Do anything fun with this? Or do you just go with nothing? You just do like basic tail. Yeah, I know, let's do that. Do we change the face at all? That's the real question. Do they look any better? Nah. I find the faces are like the thing I don't use the most. I usually just keep it as a normal white face. Just for whatever reason, it looks strange when it's not that, I guess, to me. All right. Why did I do that when I knew that's what was gonna happen? Oh, no. I keep doing the stupid. Oh. That timing's not ideal. How are we looking at people? I guess it depends on what happens here. Okay, yeah, we'll be fine as long as I make this, and we're good. Okay, here's an interesting thing. All PS5 upgrades confirmed for free so far. So let's see. So I'm just reading, yeah, this is the full list of games you can get free upgrades for moving up to PS5. Witcher 3 I'm definitely going to do. I would love to play that game again with better graphics too. Doom Eternal, I probably won't play that at all. Elder Scrolls Online, I won't play that. Fortnite, not really caring. Destiny 2, I burned myself out on. Rainbow Six Siege, that was a game that I tried to get into. I think it's too stressful for me. That's a no for me. Dead by Daylight, I would love to play that again. I'd love to have an excuse to play that again with friends. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it may just be that way because I might not get Assassin's Creed Valhalla for a while because Ubisoft is boycotted. Far Cry 6 maybe will be that, but I'm not really that interested in Far Cry 6. You know, I've always been hit and miss with Far Cry. Like, 5 ended up being really good just because I was really happy just basically killing off Westboro Baptist Church likes. That was fun. But Far Cry 6, I don't know. That one, the trailers didn't do anything to really grab my attention. I know that there's the potential that the kid in that game might actually be Voss, but as a kid. So that might be cool, but it's not like a seller to me. It's not making me go, oh, I gotta play this game. Like, I'm not there. Look at the rest of the stuff once, Oh wait, Kenna Bridge of Spirits? I'm glancing at it. Kenna Bridge of Spirits is actually gonna, I guess that's gonna be on PS5 or PS4 as well? I don't think I knew that. Because it's listed on the list for free upgrades, so that would, oh, that sucks. You would think that means that it's gonna be on PS4, but I don't remember seeing that. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Oh boy, I'm really struggling with this section now. And as long as I don't get drilled, I think we're okay. Oh, why did I say that out loud? Okay, we're still good. Dirt 5, I don't care much for racing games these days. Cyberpunk, yeah, I'll definitely... what's probably going to happen with Cyberpunk, and this is assuming I get it in the console in, say, June, I might actually do, like, one big run with it when I get the game in November, assuming it comes out in November. And then maybe down the road I'll play, like, a different route. And do that. No one cares about FIFA and NBA unless you're a sports gamer. Avengers, I already said what I did on the stream about it. Hitman 3, not my thing. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I'm curious about the game. I've never actually played a game in that series before, but that I'm curious about. Yakuza Like a Dragon, I'll probably have already played on PS4, and I don't know if I'd play that game again. Yakuza games, generally speaking, I don't play twice, even though they're really good games. Like, if you like GTA, you really should be playing Yakuza, because Yakuza is GTA, but, like, crazy. Like, really, like, it's one of those games that, like, doesn't make any sense on how it works as well as it does, but it does. Because, like, that game can have some of the most serious, plot-driven stuff, and yet some of the funniest things to happen in that game. It's so good like that. This is probably not going to go well. Oh, okay, no. Do I wait for the group to kind of fall down a few times? I think that's what we do. Or I fall... Oh, no. Okay, we're good. We're good. And then Outriders, which I'm kind of curious about, but I'm worried just because it's a live service game, and then Grounded. I have on Game Pass, and I haven't gotten around to trying it, but I've heard fun things about it, but I haven't had people to play it with. I don't think that's the kind of game I want to play solo anyway. But that's a pretty decent list already for games that you're going to get free upgrades for, and I'm sure that more will get added to... Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. I'm sure there's going to be more that will be added to later, but I mean, that's a pretty decent list for free upgrades, and there's some pretty decent games on that list. Oh, nope. Nope. Ah, damn it. I got too greedy. I got way too greedy. Well, that's what you get. Yeah, that's actually a pretty decent list, especially if like you keep all your copies. Well, I guess I'm still, because I've never had to deal with the upgrades thing, so I'm not sure how it would actually work. That's the thing about Witcher. I'm pretty sure I only have a digital version, but I can't remember. Actually, no, it's not true. I don't have a digital version. I have. Oh, I traded it in. Shoot. Well, I hope that's an option. I hope I don't need the disc anymore. I hope that because it's registered to my account, it does. Oh, apparently some guy shot himself with a shotgun on TikTok, and that's been spreading. Well, good. I'll try to stay away from that. I don't know. TikTok is one of those things I'm not really on anyway. Twitter is like as close as it's gonna get. That's really sad though. Somebody just doing that and actually recording it too. Like that's where a lot more questions come up. But the fact that anybody would just want to do that to themselves to begin with, like that's. I mean, I'm having some rough times too, and it's always when I hear about suicide that I keep thinking like, man, like how much worse is it for somebody else? Because I think that right now my current situation is pretty bad. Like I said, like I'm living pretty paycheck to paycheck. I hate my job. A lot of my personal relationships are not going as well as I'd like them to. And then on top of that, you know, obviously there's a pandemic going around. I've also had bed bugs in my apartment for over 2 months now, and that's still an ongoing thing. Not to mention getting sick right around the same time. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. And yet I'm still like nowhere near that point of being like, I know I'm depressed. Like I know there is depression going on, but like I'm nowhere near that point. So it just makes you really, really like worry about how dangerous it is like for some people to get into that point. It's really bad. Like that's really terrifying. I mean, thank God. Generally, I don't subscribe to a lot of people on Twitter, so I don't think anybody that I know would put that on because they're generally speaking like news sources and like personal friends. So I can't imagine coming across that by accident. Yeah, 20 more minutes. Well, probably like a game or two after this. I don't know how long they go. All right. Time to focus. I don't know why I'm yawning. I've only been up for like 6 hours. I woke up at 11 weirdly enough today, which is pretty unusual for me. Apparently today is one of those days where I'm just like, I don't want to get out of bed. So we got cherry apple, orange, and I think a grape was over there. banana, grape, apple. There's another grape there. There's a watermelon there, and a bunch of cherries on the side. Is there an orange somewhere? Yeah, okay, so there's a couple oranges there. Alright, let's see how this goes. Because I kind of remember only some of it. Alright, I think I'm good there. I mean, I might be good there. Just stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Stay in the middle. Oh, we actually lost nobody in that round. I mean, on that last round. We lost a couple people in the round before. That was the only complaint I had about this game for a little bit. Is like, man, like, it's... Generally speaking, you don't lose a lot of people. Yeah, getting out of here in 50 minutes sounds like a great idea. Now my stomach's starting to grumble. It's like, dude, it's been like 5 hours since you ate something. Like, come on, feed me. Close to the edge here. Probably shouldn't do that, but you know. Back off. Oh no. Okay. Try this again. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Damn it. Did a lot of final rounds and now all of a sudden we can't do that. Well, what are you gonna do? Hit parade. Oh, come on. That was probably the center. This is not going my way, is it? Just wait. Wait. Oh. Okay, we're good. Now we're a little bunched up here, but I think we're okay. Yeah, we're... Oh. Yeah, we're okay. So to add on to the EA stuff, so EA apologized for putting full screen in-game, and I'm going to quickly switch to browser just for a sec. And I'll get back to it, but yeah, they're apologizing, saying they've been removed. You know, if nobody said anything about it, Yeah, I'm just reading. They're basically just backpedaling, being like, "Well, we thought, you know, it would add to the experience, and oh, this has been something that we've been doing in UFC games before." Then I'm like, "Then why did you not have it in at the start?" I don't think we're that stupid. Well, a lot of people who play E games constantly are actually pretty stupid, but you know, say Livy. Damn. Oh. No. I might be having some issues here. Oh man. I'm like way behind the crowd. Like I might not actually make it just on the basis of like numbers. Oh no. Oh boy, if I can get up, I might be able to make it. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we were a little bit closer than I wanted to be, but that's usually DoorDash, so. You know. This is a game that I could definitely do without. It's just one of those games that, like, I don't know. Because the grab controls are so finicky too, it gets a little bit annoying. Basically, all I do is I just get one egg and then I just guard for the rest of the game. Because it just doesn't seem to be much of a point. Let go! Let go! Mine! Fuck off! Oh, you dumb fuck. What? Give me the egg! No! Alright, I guess I'm guarding now. When I'm already... Message to everybody else. If you see me already grabbing the guy, look at the other side, because I got him. I've clearly got him. No. No. What? Oh, Blue's doing the smart thing. They're just bullying the hell out of Yellow. What? Okay. This is the other reason why I don't like this mode. It's like, I feel like the grabbing option just... It's like I said, it's so finicky. Which time we got 20 minutes? Or 20 seconds? Yeah, we're probably okay. We're probably okay. I mean... No! Get the hell back in there. I mean, unless Yellow catches us, but... Okay. Ow. What? Okay, if we're gonna lag, sure. Oh, that was actually pretty good. I'll give that guy credit. Give me that tail. Thank you. Oh boy. Get up. Oh, come on. Now I'm just grabbing everything. I think I might be losing. Yep, I'm losing. Well, I think we got one more game. And I think that'll do it. And then I'm gonna get a crap ton of pasta in my stomach. That sounds like a great idea, actually. Probably should have just stayed with the crowd, getting launched across the map. Get up, you stupid bastard! Come on. There we go. Oh, I screwed up again. Oh man, I gotta stop doing that. I get so greedy. I think I've got the timing right, and then I don't. I fall down for? Oh, wow. Okay. That's probably about the dumbest jump I've ever made. Oh, well, I guess at least I go here now. Get up. Get up. Well, we're still okay. I'm a little embarrassed, but we're still okay. It's just my pride that hurts. Ignore that. Ignore all of that. Ooh. Oh yeah, 5 of 15. Oh, wow, a lot of people are falling real quick. This is one of those game types that sometimes I look at and be like, how are people falling off so quick? Because like I think I've only fallen off like once or twice, and it's usually just because like I made a really stupid mistake, but like it's pretty late in. And we're talking like me playing this like 30, 40 times. Another perfect match. Not even a single game of tiptoe yet. Oh yeah, I'm definitely getting hungry now. I think I'm definitely getting to that point where it's like, alright, you've gone long enough. Orange, grape, cherry, watermelon over there, watermelon there, no watermelon there, okay. Oh, there goes at least one or two. Down here, grape and a watermelon. Apple, there's an orange there, and a cherry way over there. Okay. Let's see if I can remember that. Oh, and a banana, shit. Oh, thank God I remembered that. Oh, speaking of tiptoe, what do you know? And this one's usually hit and miss. I'm usually greedy as shit and I end up screwing myself, but you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. First little bit, so as usual. Yeet! Damn. Oh no. Oh, there I go. And that's gonna do it. I mean, it's possible, but unlikely. Nope. How do you agree? Just take a shot at it, and we're not gonna do it. So, yeah, gonna do it. All right. So that's gonna do it for the stream. It's the first time trying this out again, so I don't know specifically how often I'm gonna actually do this. This ideally would be a weekly thing. I'm not sure how that'll work out. I might stream like even just like games at some point again, like just doing that just for funsies. But as it stands right now, this is all gonna get clipped out as well. I think I might just upload the full stream onto YouTube as well, and then just clip it and have it all in the next couple of days. But yeah, so that's probably the plan. I mean, there's gonna be a stream. I mean, if assuming there's news every week, I'd have a stream where it's a mixture of games and then in rants like I did here. Otherwise, I don't know yet because we're still in this early stage. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with this. But for anybody checking out the stream here on Twitch later, like you can check out more of it or the clips version of stuff on YouTube as well as the podcast. We do those VCR podcasts every Wednesday at 8 p.m. So everything is CS Radical. Twitter it's CS Radical, YouTube it's CS Radical, and obviously here on Twitch. I would say Instagram it's CS_radical, but to be completely honest, I don't really use Instagram that much. At least not right now. I'm not much of a grammar. I don't really care much for pictures much. So with that being said, guys, thank you for checking out the video or the stream if you're catching this later on. And I will see you the next time I see you guys. So take care.